Welcome back, folks. Here is a quick question from chapter 1.6. And this question I've taken from exercise 1.6, check and reflect. And it is on page number 63, question number 40. And if you couldn't find it in the book, please let me know. I'll tell you uh, the more details about this question. All right. A person in an apartment building is 5 meters above the person walking below. She plans to drop some keys to him. He is currently walking directly towards the point below her at 2.75 meters per second. How far he is if he catches the keys 1.25 meter above the ground. All right. So first of all, I want us to tell you this is from the Pearson book, the book which you guys are using, Pearson grade 12 book, grade 11 and grade 12 book. All right. So the person in the apartment is for in the person in an apartment building is 5 meters above the person walking below. So this person on top here is 5 meters above the person who is below. So this is the person. The distance between these two people is 5 meters. This distance given to me is 5 meters. She plans to drop the key to him. So if she's gonna drop the keys, she's gonna drop the keys in the downward direction, and he's currently walking directly towards the point. So this person is walking in this direction, and he's walking towards her at 2.75 meters per second. How far he is when he catches the key at 1.25 meter above the ground. So the total distance from this ground to this, well, we can say from the point this person she is dropping to the ground, this is 5 meter. This is 5 meter, and this distance from her hand to the hands of the other person, this is 3.75 meter. Why this is 3.75 meter? Because the person catches it at 1.25 meter above the ground. So this one is 1.25 meter. So the vertical distance traveled by the keys is equal to 3.75 meters in the downward direction. That's why I placed it in the negative direction. Anything traveling in the downward direction you will take as negative. And initial velocity, because she's planning to drop the keys, so initial velocities with which she's going to drop the keys is 0 meters per second, and we cannot take the final velocity. So please do not start assuming. One thing I want to tell you, don't start assuming that because he's catching it after catching the keys, we're going to consider the velocity 0. We always take the velocity with which it will hit his hand. So if something is being thrown from the top and it strikes the ground, we will take the velocity just below before it hits the ground. So again, in this case, just before it hits his hand. So we don't know final velocity. So this thing we don't know. And another thing, let's see what's given to me. G value in the vertical direction, either it's given or not. When we are on Earth, it is negative 9.81 meters per second square. So this thing is given to me, second thing is given to me, third thing is given to me. And now I can find out the time it will take to reach to the ground. Why I'm finding the time? Because this person, we said that this person is walking towards her, and then he is walking in this forward direction. Let me change the color. He's walking in the forward direction at 2.75 meters per second. So we can say that the time taken by the keys to move in the downward direction is the same time this person will take to move in the forward direction. So this time is same as the time taken by the person. So if I can find out the time taken by the keys to reach to the ground, that will be the time taken by the person to reach to the towards the key, and that will help me to find the answer. So first of all, let's find out the time from here. So I'm gonna write the equation. I wanted to find out the time. V final is not given to me, so I will drop all the equations out of the 5 equations which I've given you. I will drop all those equations which has V final into it, and I will be left with an equation. The equation I'll be left with will be delta d phi is equal to VIT plus half AT square. This is the equation I'll be left with. Again, I'll drop all the equations which have final velocity into it. and a will be replaced with the g. In this case, initial velocity is 0, so 0 times anything is 0. So please, this is where this is again a lot of students make a mistake. So once they start multiplying initial velocity 0 times 5, they will start writing it as they start writing sometimes as 5. So that's wrong. So 0 times anything is 0. So this becomes 0 plus half at square. So half times negative 9.81 times t square, which is equal to delta d, which is negative 3.75. So now negative 3.75, if I reduce this, this is going to become negative 4.905 t square, and then dividing both sides by 4.905 cancels out negative 4.905. Let me do the calculations on my phone quickly, and I'll recommend you guys to keep the calculator with you guys. So 3.75 divided by 4.905, which is 0.765, and negative will cancel out, equal to t square, and then this is going to go on the other side, 0.765. This is going to give me the t value as 0.87. So t value will come out to be 0.87 seconds. So we figured out the time. Now this is the time the key is going to take to come down. So because the person is catching, so same amount of the time will be taken by this person to move in the forward direction. So how much distance he will travel? Delta d will be equal to velocity, or in this case we are given the speed, so we not asked about the direction. We can directly say speed times time and the distance traveled by the person. So delta d will be, oops, I don't need to use any vector because we are not asked about the any direction. It's just that he's traveling in the forward direction. So delta d, we wanted to find out how much distance he is traveling. Delta d value will be equal to 2.75 multiplied by 0.87. So that will come out to be 2.75 multiplied by 0.87, which is equal to 2.39 or 2.4 meters. So the distance traveled by the person in the forward direction will be 2.4 meters. So this person will travel in the forward direction 2.4 meters. So hopefully you were able to understand this question. This was a little complicated question, thus I thought of solving it by myself. And please let me know if you guys want me to solve any other question. Until then, goodbye.